everybody, I'm Corinne Blackstone and welcome to my craft room. Before we get started, be sure to check out my website listed down below. I have lots of fun free SVGs there, my blog, you can sign up for my newsletter, so just head over to CorinneBlackstone.com. In today's video, we are going to make a really cute ornament. This is a star ornament from Heat Transfer Warehouse and it is made for sublimation. This is such a fun little project to do and it's super easy. And I'm going to show you how to use Design Space to print out your sublimation design. While I don't typically recommend using Design Space for this, it's actually really good for doing these smaller designs and it makes it a little bit easier. And I'm going to show you how to fill up an entire sheet so that you're not really wasting a whole page of sublimation paper. And what's great about this is while it is an ornament, this still could make a really nice keychain. This could also work as a car charm. So there's a lot that you can do with this and it's super sturdy, it's full metal, and it is really nice quality. So don't feel like you just have to make these for Christmas. We're gonna make this for a friend for Labor Day so that they can have their soldier with them at all times. So let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna start over in Design Space and I'll show you how to fill your star with your image.
Whatever we would do, we do it just for fun.
Now, you guys know that normally I do not recommend using Cricut Design Space to print out your sublimation designs. But I'm going to show you how to do it with this one because we need to print it out in a specific area because we need it to fit within this 2-inch star. So what we're going to do is start with a shape and we're going to use a star. Now this star is kind of more of this shape, not this shape. So it's the fatter star, not the skinnier star. The star that I have to print on is about a 2-inch star. So it's pretty much about the correct size here on Design Space. But because I want to make sure that the whole star gets covered with my image, I am going to expand my star a bit. Now I don't need to go like way big, but I usually like to give it a little bit of an edge. So I think that's pretty good. It looks like it's going to be about the right size. The next thing that I'll need to do is to upload the photo that I want to use. So I'm going to click upload and I'm going to go to upload image and browse. Now I am using a picture of a Marine that we lost from my local hometown many moons ago. But you can use any one that you want, any picture that you want. But I just thought this would be really a good one for Labor Day, just to celebrate, and it's a nice little gift that you can do. So don't feel like just because these are marketed as Christmas ornaments that you couldn't use them for something else. So I don't need to clean this up or anything. I just need to click apply and continue, and I want to save it as a print and cut image. Click upload, and it may take a moment to get it into your recent uploads. Once it does, select it and add it to your canvas. Now this part always takes a second with print and cut, so you need to give it just a few minutes. Now we're going to size this down a bit, and you may want to kind of play around with what picture you choose to see which picture is going to fit best, because this is really going to cut off a lot of him because of the size of the star and the shape of it, but it'll be all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change this. I'm going to duplicate my star really quick. And this is where the new Cricut guides are going to be really handy. I'm going to change this over to a guide. And then you can see, I can see the like edges of the star to see where it's going to slice into his image. So what you can do is kind of use your star as like a sizing guide and move it around on your face here and just kind of figure out where you want it to cut. I think that'll be okay. I don't think that's going to be too bad. So what I'm going to do is line up my stars. Now you'll see that this one goes behind the picture, not real helpful. So what I'm going to do is right click on it over here in the layers tab and I'm going to bring it to the front. Then I'm just going to kind of line it up with where the guide was. The guide's great because you can see through it, so it's really helpful. So I'm just going to line it up with the guide. Then what I want to do is select the star and the image and I'm just going to slice. The slice can take a second, so just give it a minute if it doesn't do it right away. It has been a little bit slow. Now you'll see that I have a couple of separate pieces here. So I've got the guide, the original star, and the picture without the part that I sliced out. I'm going to go ahead and delete everything except the star that we saved. So this is the one that we're going to keep. Now we're just going to do this with sublimation. So what I want to make sure I do is flip it so that he's facing the right way. So I'm just going to click flip horizontal. I'm going to print a couple of these off so that way if anything happens, I've got extras. So what we'll do is we're going to, rather than click duplicate up here and make Cricut Design Space go a little nutty, I'm going to show you something that you can do. Click Make It, and it's going to bring up our area where we have our print. I'm just going to tell it to print me 5 copies, and if I click Apply, you'll note that it puts those 5 copies on my page. I can do 6, hit apply. You can usually do quite a few. So let's just kind of play around and see how many it will let me do on one page. Now it says that I can only fit 2 wide, but I think that's a dirty lie. So let's take a look and show you another way to do this. So another way you can do it is to open up a shape, and we're going to open up a square. And what we need to do with this square is to set it to the right size for print and cut. We are going to set this to the size of the print and cut area, which is 6.75 wide by 9.25 high. So up here at the top, click the unlock button and tell it you want to go 6.75 wide and 9.25 high. That right there is going to be your print and cut area. Right click on it and send it to the back. And then you're going to lay your stars out onto your page. Now, I'm not going to need this many stars, but let's go ahead and just do it so you guys can see that you can, in fact, fit more than what Design Space fits. Now, they're not going to fit 3 wide, I don't think, because they're going to be really close together. But here's a quick little trick. Move one down a little bit, move one over, and you'll see now that you can kind of fit them a little bit differently. So now when you duplicate again, what you'll do is kind of put this one in here, this little section, then duplicate again. Now the last one, what we were fitting 6 or 8 on the sheet, I think we're gonna fit way more than that now. So we're gonna be able to kind of fit a lot more. Again, I'm not gonna need this many, but I'm just showing you this to give you an idea as if you do need this many, like you're making them as a gift for family or something, you're able to really put a lot on one sheet so you're not going to mix and mess up. And since we're not using the actual cutting feature on this, it's really okay if they're really, really close together because you can just cut them out with scissors, and that's how we're going to do it. We're not using the actual cut portion of print and cut. But look, we've already fit 10 on here, and we still have room for a couple more. So let's go ahead and finish filling this, and I'm going to show you your next trick to make Design Space work really well for this. So there we go. We have quite a few. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So we fit 12 of these onto one sheet. I'm going to go ahead and delete the square because we don't need it anymore. Then what I want to do is select all of my stars. You can do this one of 2 ways. You could attach them, but Cricut Design Space doesn't do a very good job with that much information. So what I prefer to do is I just flatten all of them together, and now it's going to print it as just one sheet of these stars. Now when you click Make It, you'll see that it's going to fit that all on that one sheet. Cricut Design Space is not great when it comes to saving materials, so keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and get these printed out, and I'm going to show you how to do that. What you're going to do is click Continue, and you're going to send it to your printer. You want to make sure you have the correct printer selected, and in this case, because I'm going to be doing sublimation, I need to make sure that I have my ST4000 selected, which, like I said, normally I don't use with Cricut. Now, for this one, I'm going to turn the bleed off. We absolutely do not need it because we're not cutting, and it's just going to leave like an extra weird kind of blurry line around the edges of the stars that we don't need. I do want to make sure I use System Dialog, and I'm going to show you guys why. So make sure you have that on and click Print. It will bring up a preferences page, which you'll see it'll pop up here. I'll move it over so you can see it a little bit better, but this is our preferences. If for some reason you don't have all these preferences, go back and install your printer drivers again, because when you installed them the first time, you did not install them all. Click on Preferences, and we're going to just change a couple of things to make sure that we get the best print possible, because Design Space is not amazing. So what we'll do is we're going to change our quality to high, then go under More Options. I want you to turn off high speed, and then I want you to go up here to color correction, choose custom, and click advanced. Now, I've messed around with this a lot, and Design Space's colors are a little bit off sometimes. So what I find works, and it works perfectly to fix this, is just change it from Epson Vivid to Adobe RGB, making sure the gamma stays at 2.2. I don't change anything down here at all because it works really well and it doesn't seem to have any problems, but it prints better when you change it to the Adobe RGB. Click OK again, and we're gonna go ahead and print this out. This project is excellent to use mini presses on, so what I'm going to do is turn my mini press on. I'm turning it on to high because that's what you need for sublimation. And then I'm just going to cut one of my stars out. Like I said, I really only need one for this project, but I did want to show you how to optimize all of your image and your paper. So I'm just going to carefully cut around one of the stars. And it doesn't have to be a perfect cut around the star. You can have paper on the edge. And I actually do recommend paper on the edge, because what we're going to do is take our little star blank, which is this little metal white star, and you want to make sure that you have the white side down. So you'll see that one side is like a stainless steel color, and then one side is the white side. So you want to make sure the white side is down. And I always just double check. It should fit any way that you put it onto your star blank here, but I always just do a quick double check. But it looks like it fits anyway. So you want to make sure that you have the face up. And I'm just going to line it up over my star. Like I said, I made my image a little bit larger than the shape that I had. So you'll see that some of the color pokes through on the edges. That's completely fine. We want it to do that so that it covers the whole star. Then I've got this awesome tape dispenser, which actually cuts my tape for me. Now I'm going to tape this face down onto my page here, so right onto my paper. And I'm going to make sure that this is held down pretty well, so I'm just going to give it a couple pieces of tape. Then what you want to do is grab some butcher paper. You don't need a lot for this. I usually will just kind of cut like a small sliver. And I want to make sure that I have some paper that goes down onto the table, or in this case, we'll be using a pressing pillow. And I want to also make sure that I have paper over the image as well. So I kind of just make a little sandwich, and I just fold my star into that. Then what I'm going to do is place this on top of a pressing mat, and this is to protect the surface of my table. I don't want to put anything super hot on my table, and you want to make sure that you have it so that your image, so that the picture is up. So this is the paper part. We want this up for where our press is going to be. I'm going to finish letting that mini press heat up. Again, we have it on high, and then we're going to go ahead and press this for about 60 seconds, probably closer to 45 for something like this when it's a little bit small. But I wanted to make sure to use a mini press for this because it's so small. It's like the perfect little product to use your mini press with. My little mini press is ready to go, so I'm just going to kind of press down my butcher paper here so I can make sure that I get my press on top. You really don't need to apply much pressure. I just hold it down so that I make sure it doesn't move. I'm not really pressing much. I'm just holding it down, and then I'm kind of counting in my head to make sure that I get to about 45. That's been about 45 seconds. And what I love about the way that I do this is I can kind of see some of that color transfer. You can see how it's transferred over. I don't think the bottom of the star got it as well as I would have liked because this is pretty small. So I'm going to go ahead and give the bottom a little bit more of a press. And that's okay to do, especially before you take any paper off. Just make sure that you're satisfied with the way it pressed. Now that was a lighter color down at the bottom, so I just want to make sure that it gets a nice full press. So I'm just going to give this a little bit longer on the bottom section of our star. This is such a fun gift that you can give to somebody, whether it's a former military, a veteran, something like that, maybe someone who has passed away. It's just a lot of really fun things that you can do with this. And because it's like a hanger, you could put it in a car. You could really use it as a keychain if you wanted. It's not overly heavy. It is really good quality, but it's not super heavy, so it would make a super duper cute keychain as well. I think you could really do a lot with this. Now keep in mind, this is metal, so it's crazy hot. So you want to make sure that you're not really touching that metal portion. And I'm just going to peel off my tape, and I'm just holding down, you see how I'm holding down the paper, and I'm trying not to touch the metal. Now you can put on some heat gloves when doing this, and I would recommend it for safety reasons. I just like to, take chances. But don't burn yourself. You can let it cool too. I just am not one that typically lets my stuff cool before I take it off. It's just not me. You don't have to. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip this over. We're going to go ahead and peel this off, and it does kind of feel like it's stuck to it, but don't worry. If you peel slow, it'll be okay. And if anything sticks to it, it's okay. you can get it off with a baby wipe. And if y'all want to hear a funny story, I just realized I never peeled off the protective plastic that's on here. But truly, like, look, it came out really good even with not taking that protective plastic off. So don't be me. Always take your protective plastic off. But look at that, it worked. I mean, I think it worked really well. Like, it looks really good, but take your protective plastic off. But it did work. I mean, I've got like a sticky plastic on here now, but like, it's fine, it worked. So one thing I'll say, and I always forget to do it, so maybe this will be a good little warning to you, is if you're gonna do a sublimation blank, always check for protective coating. I didn't do that, and I should have. So now our next step is to get our star blank, which is this metal piece, and it's really good. Like, it's a high quality piece. It's heavy. It's got like a good quality like product here. So what we'll do is there's white paper here, and it's not actually paper, it's like a sticker backing. You're gonna peel that away from the sticky part of the star. Make sure that you have the hole at the top where you want your design to be, and then I'm gonna fit my star into the space, hopefully as well as I can. And you're gonna press it down. Now I would recommend letting this sit for a day or two before you like put it on a keychain or something like that. But to gift it, it's fine, it's ready to go. Look how cute. I think this came out really good. I'll get you guys a better view without so much of a reflection because you can see how glossy it is. It's absolutely stunning. Here is our finished star ornament. It came out really, really cute. And like I said, this is not just for Christmas time. You can absolutely hang this in your car, make it into a keychain. It's really substantial. It is full metal. And it is so pretty. I think even the back is really cool. I like the pattern on the back. It's like almost a plaid. Let me see if I can get it to focus on that plaid pattern. But you can see how it's kind of a plaid-ish look. I think it's super cute. And I just love the way that this came out. Now again, don't be silly like me and accidentally forget to take off the protective plastic. I completely forgot to. That was my 100% fault. But it still came out, which is pretty impressive. I think this is going to be a really fun gift, a fun ornament, a fun keychain, hang it in your car. This is a great way to honor your military member. So if you have any questions about this or any of the other crafts, please let me know in those comments down below. Tell me what you would do with this cute little star ornament as well. I'm going to link everything I used down below for you guys if you want to grab any of the stuff we used in today's video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, happy crafting!